I will start with opening statement from Jen Cook. Then we'll do questions for Amelia and Mackenzie so they can get down to the locker room shower, get ready to head home. But Jen, we'll start with a statement from you on today's win heading to the quarterfinals.
These guys just played so well together today and executing our game plan and playing with so much confidence and composure and belief. Coming into this game and in this new season of the NCAA tournament, we are underdogs and we love that about these games, and we're rising in our moment, and it's just really fun to watch these guys compete day in and day out for another week to play together, and that's what it's all about.
All right, questions for Amelia and Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, I'll start. Jen Hadfield with Princeton Alumni Weekly. I'll start with the Ivy League record for goals in a season. You hit that on the quick stick feed from Haven, if you remember that one. I'm just curious if you can kind of walk me through as much as you remember and just your reaction to getting that record.
Yeah, I don't think I knew what the record was, so this is a bit of a surprise. That's really awesome to hear, though. That's really cool. I think just to be kind of up there, in some of the Ivy League top scorers, that's really awesome. But yeah, I didn't really know what the number was or how many I had, but it was just really fun offensively. It was just really awesome.
Just for the record, Mackenzie now has, I believe, 86 goals this season and set a previous record was 32, set in 1981.
Nice.
Wow. Record's older than I am.
All right.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Amelia Kenny from USA Lacrosse Magazine. About a week ago, or exactly a week ago, was a pretty rough moment. Maybe there was some confidence that an NCAA tournament selection would come anyway, so the nerves might not have been there. But a week ago, you have that moment, and now this weekend you have these two moments. So what's changed? How are you guys feeling now?
I think knowing our season's on the line and we only have so much time left with our seniors, I think that's been really motivational for all of us. We love Keds, we love all the seniors on the roster, and so we really want to fight to keep playing and keep extending our season. I also think just coming back from that, we have a lot to prove. A lot of people count us out, and we really wanted to make a statement.
And a follow-up to that, Mackenzie, what was practice like after that game and leading into this?
Last week, yeah. I think Neil's hit it head on. I think it was a bad game last weekend, and I think we were just really pumped up for this weekend. We had to have short memory, forget about the game a day or two after, learn from it, but really just turn it around, bring the energy and focus on this weekend, which is what we did.
Amelia, for you, Hopkins kind of controlled the draw early, so putting you guys on defense a lot. What do you kind of see from you and your defense as far as kind of just hanging in there and kind of gritting it out until you guys made some adjustments on the draw?
Yeah, our defense played really great. They were giving me the shots that I wanted to see, so that was really helpful. And we also knew that if we could get the ball to our attack, they were going to finish. So just pushing as hard as we can, just try to make stops so that we could give the ball up to them and they can finish the job.
And with Mackenzie, scoring 8 goals today, you've seen her score so many goals before.
Yes.
At this point, when you see her do the behind the back one that she did for her first one or some of these other ones, do you still go?
It never gets old. Dylan Allen, the defenders, right in front of me, and we always are like, oh my gosh, she did it again. She never fails to impress us.
Anything else for Amelia or Mackenzie?
I guess, it's looking ahead a little bit now, but how exciting is a matchup against North Carolina? That's two offenses that know how to score.
Yeah, I think we're really pumped up. I think it's definitely, they're a really good team, a lot of press on them, so I think it's going to be a really fun game, something that we can all just pull together for, work for each other, and just try to extend the season as long as possible.
All right, thanks, Mackenzie, Amelia. You guys can
Thanks, guys.
head
Good
down.
job.
We'll do questions
Thank you.
for Jen.
Coach, if you could give some more on what happened versus Yale, or maybe more so what's happened since that game, because obviously so many good things have happened since that game.
I think it's just coming back to our confidence, right? At this time of the year, it is all about confidence and executing your game plan and remembering what got us here, right? And getting back to that. And we started the year as underdogs, and with kind of how the bracket shook out, it was very clear that we were back to being underdogs, and I think this group really thrives with that mentality. So for us, after that game, we knew that that wasn't our best showing, but we also know that Yale is an incredible team, right? The Ivy League, day in and day out, in the games that we play, not only in conference but out of conference, show our strength, and I think it puts some other leagues on notice in the way that we play and the way we compete. The Ivy League tournament didn't go the way that we wanted to. I think Yale played a phenomenal game. They had a great game plan and they played a really, really clean game. And so for us, it was really getting back to what brought us to the success that we had all year long.
Coach, with Mackenzie's first goal, the behind the back, it looks like it's going to be a turnover, and then she kind of just ends up with it, and it's in the back of the net. What's going through your head on that whole possession as you see all that unfold?
Honestly, I actually talked to Chaz and our AD last night. I had a really good feeling going into the game. I think when Mackenzie has the ball in her stick, great things happen. That's been all year long. It's been her entire career as a Tiger. You trust her to make big plays in big moments. And I think when she does that, it gives the whole group confidence. Just to follow up on that, what do you think, when you look back on her career, when she's all done, you guys have more lacrosse to play, but what kind of separates her from other players you've coached who have a similar knack for putting the ball in the back of the net? What makes her different? I think she just makes incredible lacrosse IQ plays. It's just impressive to watch. You heard Amelia say it. Those plays go on in practice. So when they happen in a game, of course you're blown away, but you're like, yeah, that's Mackenzie being Mackenzie, right? But really with this group and Mackenzie being as good as she is, I think iron sharpens iron, right? You're playing against such an incredibly talented attacking unit that it only makes your defense and your goalie better, right? And so, Mackenzie and her career, it has been historic, right? And record breaking. That's who we knew she was when we recruited her, right? And we're just so glad that she chose to be a Tiger, and she continues to elevate her game, and by her doing that, it elevates everybody else around her on this team.
You talked about refinding confidence or building confidence before. Mm-hmm. Does the team ever show any sign of nerves, or what bucks them out of that when they're starting to feel a little bit of going through the motions, so to speak?
I think that's a great question. I can't really put my finger on it. For us, I think last week we came out a little quiet on both ends, right? And I think when you come out quiet, it's hard to get yourself out of a hole against a really talented team. And like I said, I think, you want to talk about playing a perfect game. Yale's a great team, and they played a perfect game against us, right? So for us, those meetings on Monday were about getting back to being who we are, remembering how great we are, and remember the success that got us there and how it got us there, right? With the work that we do day in and day out, every single game you play is another opportunity. It's a fresh opportunity. And the NCAA tournament is a fresh slate as well, right? So that's how we approach things.
So in those first 5 or so-ish minutes today, not that anything was going wrong, but it was just a goalie battle for the first few minutes. Do you just tell everyone stay the course, they're going to fall? This is the offense we still want to run.
Absolutely. And I think Amelia had a great game, but if I'm being honest, I thought our defenders executed our defensive game plan perfectly today. We knew they were going to run the 2-man. We knew, what they were looking for and what they wanted. We clogged a lot of space. We slid together. We switched on picks together, really giving Amelia the shots that she wanted. I actually think the stops that we had in the first quarter gave our offense confidence. If you're asking me honestly, I think both the offense and our goalie played incredible, but I think our defense really ignited, and gave us that confidence in that first quarter.
What changed in your opinion on the draw? Was it tactical? Was it just something you said to them? Because you first quarter they win 5 or 6, and then you're even with them the rest of the way.
I think we knew it was going to be a 50-50 ball battle on the ground. We had to do a better job of that, right? And I think it's getting back to boxing out, hunting the ball together. They heard that, right? We wanted the ball on the ground for a 50-50 ball. Soph was doing that, but we needed more people hunting with her on that. And to the kids on the circle, they made that adjustment, and it was awesome to see.
Any other questions?
How are you feeling about the matchup next weekend? I know it's your alma mater.
It's my alma mater, yeah. Excited about it. I think for us, yeah, it's a quick turnaround and it's a quick week. It's always great to play your alma mater. They're incredibly talented, as you know. High-powered offense, equally talented off the draw and defense. equally great. But you know, our kids like being the underdogs. They like the challenge, and it's going to be a challenge on Thursday, and we know that. But we're excited for that challenge.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.